loosen up a little bit in that third set. He was back in this, and he's still back in this match. I think that Rafter played a great game here, and don't count him out yet, because he's just 3 or 4 decent returns and he's right back in it.
Do you think, Peter, he looked very anxious and ill at ease at the start? If so, if he did, is that mental tiredness?
I think he certainly was anxious. Yeah, we saw him lose his temper just a tiny little bit. Nothing to be worried about. But that's not like Greg. And I think you could see that he was a little bit frustrated and maybe just overstressed, really, rather than tired.
Yes, thank you. Well, having said a few moments ago that I felt that Rafter now had his game and his personality, his whole attitude to the game, matured over the last 2 years when things...
There. But we have a real match on our hands. He's ahead 3-2 with a break. Rafter, 4th set.
Love. Love.
It's not the speed of the serve with him, it's the weight of the serve, the direction of the serve, and the variety of the serve. And he mixes them up very well indeed, Rafter.
All.
Excellent teasing backhand cross court from Rusedski here. Not too ambitious.
Well, he keeps clawing away. He's like a yard dog in this match, Rusedski.
30-40.
And this is a very big point indeed for him. Excellent backhand returns of serve he's produced in this game.
Yes, it was long, and perseverance has its reward. Rusedski's got back again. It's 3-all, and it certainly isn't over.
Well, it's marvellous resistance and resilience, in fact, from Greg Rusedski here. Playing good backhands, whipping that forehand over when he gets the chance, which is not often. But he's fought his way right back in here into this set, 3-all.
Love 15.
Well, in boxing parlance, we're in about in the 10th round here of a heavyweight contest, and they're giving it all, both of them.
All.
magnificent shot. What an athlete.
Well, you can say that again. This is just incredible. He spends a lot of time in the gym getting fit, keeping fit,
30.
and it's really showing.
All.
First serve percentage in court in this set is the best he's had in the whole match. 75% first serves accurately in court. Oh, that was
30-40.
that was a calamitous misjudgment. Having said that, when we saw the replay of that, I mean, it was just a cigarette paper thinness. Shea Stadium across the top right of your picture. Amazing sight, this.
Advantage Rusedski.
Oh, the wonderful serve. He's just edged in front here. 4-3. Rusedski leads, fourth set.
Rusedski leads 4-3.
Well, there really is a different complexion on this match right now. One bad service game by Pat Rafter, and he won't be looking quite as triumphant as he has done when he's broken Rusedski. The thing is that Rusedski has slid a couple of backhand passes past Rafter. Only a couple, but it makes you think, okay, I can't hit that wing with impunity, which he has been doing in the first 2 or 3 sets. So I think Rusedski is playing better and better as this match goes on. You know, he may have had a virus, he may have had a sore throat, that may have had an effect, I don't know, but he's not allowing it to affect his game. In a real match here, on serve again, Rafter 3-4.
Love. Love. Love.
That's a good solid game by Rafter, typical of the man and typical of the way he's been playing more or less through this final. And you think that Rusedski was a breakdown and points from going 2 breaks down in this 4th set, and he lost the first 2 sets. Lion-hearted certainly describes Rusedski's performance.
15 love.
He's done it. Good for him.
He has indeed. That is the fastest serve. Well spotted, Bill. Fastest serve ever recorded.
That was one of his ambitions in this tournament. The other one was to win it. Now do them both, Greg.
$40 love.
I don't believe that.
That's incredible.
He's going to bust the machine.
Yes, twice in one game, he's bettered the world's fastest ever recorded serve.
Now, hang on. It doesn't count, that one. It was a fault.
It was a fault, yes. I was getting too excited there. But it's enormous serving by Rusedski now. The best he served, certainly. He's got far better rhythm on his serve now. And look at that. Richard Lewis there, top right from the LTA. Full of admiration. I was going to miss that.
$40-30. Game Rusedski.
Well done, that man. And man, he certainly is. 5-4 he leads.
Rusedski leads 5-4.
Fourth set, having been 2 sets to love down and very nearly 2 breaks down in this fourth set.
It's a tremendous effort, isn't it? Pat Rafter is giving different sort of looks towards his corner now. Before they were happy, smiling and triumphant, and he deserved to be able to give those sort of looks, but it's a very different situation now. Rusedski absolutely focused on the job in hand. Occasional flicking of his eyes over towards Brian Teacher. That's to whom he would look, because Teacher has done wonders for his game. He's built his confidence, he's built backhands into his game, his serve has become better, and he's become a thoroughly good all-round professional tennis player now, a top 10 performer, which he very nearly is, even if he loses this match. He's very much a...
Rafter has got to hold his serve here. This is going to a final set.
Thank you.
No.
15 love.
He was trying for a very difficult shot there, from which there would be no answer if he got it in. Couldn't pussyfoot around there.
$30 love. Net for serve. $40 love.
Not a bad idea to play the volley on the jump sometimes, in the air. It avoids the possibility of your feet being in the wrong position or jolting as you hit the shot.
Game Rafter.
Comprehensive service game by Rafter. Won it to love. 5-all.
5-all.
Edging perhaps towards a tie-break in the 3 matches they've played before this. They've never yet played a tie-break against each other.
And we're moving from day into night. The lights have been on for a long time now, slowly converting this into a night match. Terrific, terrific. When these two fellas, both of them natural volleyers, both loving to camp on the net, get close together, they've had some exciting stuff, haven't they? Usually it's been Rafter who's come out on top in those close exchanges.
Love 30.
Wonderful.
Well, terrific court coverage by both of them, but this is just
Love 40.
too far to get that smash. Excellent smash. He's got 3 break points.
And the Australian camp, you can tell from their reaction that they think it's here really for the taking for their man. Yes, he's been caught too many times in this game. That could be the crucial break. 6-5, fourth set, 2 sets to 1.
Well, that's the sun in case
Rafter leads 6-5.
you're wondering whether it's the moon rising. It's not. It's the sun dipping. And the sun is really rising for Pat Rafter now, because that was a really terrific game he played. You've got to take your hat off to him for that. He exploited all the well, the deficiencies in this game from Rusedski, which has been a backhand volley which has too often hit the net. Now, that's not to say that he hasn't also played some excellent backhand volleys, but look at that. I mean, he's tested to the limit down there on his feet. This would test anybody, a volley that close to the net. You've got to dig up against a man who is excellent at the passing shot and excellent at the counter volley, offer volley. So you've got to assume now, I suppose, that Pat Rafter will come out and win his first Grand Slam title, but I certainly would not put Greg Rusedski in the category of somebody who is thinking like that.
The Rafter has kept making him play all the time. His ground shots have been a good bit the superior in this match, right from the start. It's been a wonderfully mature and well-rounded performance by him, both temperamentally and technically. He's just got to keep his concentration tight, hold his nerve here, just play each point. Don't look at the heady view, don't look at that.
Thank you.
Rafter serves for the US Open Championship.
I mean, that's just amazing court coverage, just refusing to be passed by Rusedski. Once again, athleticism, pure skill.
Well, he lobbed in exactly the right place. Rusedski is not only still trying hard, but he's thinking well.
Absolutely, I think Rusedski played a very good first point, the one he lost. And that was an excellent thinking point he played then. Once again exploiting the backhand high weakness Rafter shown today.
Well, I think that just about sums it up. Rafter playing with wonderful poise, beautifully solid tennis, and Rusedski still going for anything. There's no such thing as a lost cause for Greg Rusedski.
Absolutely, for either of them. I mean,
30-15.
It's pretty seldom you see a picture of a tennis court with neither player in view. You do in this match. They're all over the court, giving it all.
Serves on the outside edge of the line, it was judged. He thinks it's not his day. And just 5 minutes
40-15.
short of 2.5 hours. Pat Rafter has 2 championship points. He's done it on the first, and the boy wonder, who Australians were prematurely acclaiming as a champion, what, 3 years ago, has kept his head, and he's won magnificently. And the last Australian to win a Grand Slam championship was another Patrick. It was at Wimbledon 1987, and it was Pat Cash. And let's hand over to Wally Mazur here. Well done, Aussie.
Well, what can you say? Just look at the delight in Patrick Rafter, probably the dream of any tennis professional to win a major championship. And he's ecstatic, just running over to the support crew there. Probably jumped that wall in a single bound. Steve, his older brother, there he is.
Oh, hey, I thought Cash Payton did that one.
Well, that's fantastic. That's Tony Roach, brother Steve. That's his other brother on the end there, Buddy from Bermuda. There's a rather attractive young Dutch lady.
Well, it's just a terrific effort. And when you think that the week after next in Washington, he's going to be playing for Australia against the United States in the semi-finals of the Davis Cup. We'll be there for Sky, Bill and I. And the Australian morale is going to be higher still after this. He's beaten Chang twice in the last, I think it's 3 weeks, including yesterday, comprehensively as well. But Wally, what about Rusedski?
Well, probably in the end you'd have to say that had Greg played as he did in the final 2 sets, this result may have been different. Pat was the first one to settle into his routine, play his game, and but I said it before, I take my hat off to Greg. He wasn't at all comfortable out there on the centre court for the first 2 sets, and it could be a pretty lonely place. But he regrouped, he played a terrific 3rd set, and nearly fought his way out of the 4th set. You'd have to say he saved break points on a number of occasions, and he really is a good match player. We know all about his ability, but he's a terrific match player.
As I keep saying, that Rusedski is somewhere where Rafter was 2 years ago. It's obvious the deficiencies in his technique, but he works so hard, he's willing to learn, as Rafter did. And I still think that as long as in Britain we don't get too impatient, don't demand too much of both Rusedski and Henman too soon, then we're going to have some wonderful years in the game.
Well, that's absolutely right. Yep, absolutely right. First of all, I personally doff my hat to this man because he has been the athlete of the tournament. He has just played wonderful lawn tennis all through the tournament. He has demolished great players like Agassi and Chang in their own tournament here at the US Open, and he's finally won by doing a Pat Cash here, and who can blame him? Australian ebullience, and absolutely deserved, in there with all his team, crying with joy, no doubt.
Well, there is a lot of cash in him, isn't there?
Yes, there is, and it really does show in his court movement. And like Pat, he's from a big family, very close-knit family, and I think this brings him up to number 3 in the world, and I don't think you'd ever find a more down-to-earth number 3 in the world than Pat Rafter. Terrific guy.
That's right. Rafter on Monday, when the new ATP Tour World Rankings come out, will be, as Wally was saying, 3rd in the world. Greg Rusedski will move up to 11th. It's a terrific run he's had all this year, Rusedski, and that'll be the highest any British player in modern times has been ranked since Roger Taylor way back.
Yes, I know, it's a fantastic effort. Rusedski has given his all. He's trained and trained and trained. And his coach, Brian Teacher, and Lucy Connors, his girlfriend, and everybody who knows and likes him, and that is everybody pretty well, I think, will be immensely proud of this man, because he has done what he has hoped he would do for British tennis and himself, and that is climb that very steep mountain and become a Grand Slam finalist.
And Bill, when you think that Rusedski had never won a match at the US Open until he came here.
Well, I know. Until this tournament, I saw the match he lost against a qualifier. He was out of sight a different player. I mean, he was just so panicky and really bad in almost every department. He knew it. It was awful to watch.
And that's the voice there of the announcer on court himself, a former great champion. Far right, Tony Trabert.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the President of the United States Tennis Association and the Chairman of the U.S. Open, Harry Marmion. Harry?
Thank you, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making this a great tournament. Thanks CBS, USA, our great sponsors, and our great champion. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to award a prize and a present to the tournament referee for this match, Jim Zimmerman from California.
Memento for the umpire.
And we have the referee for the U.S. Open, someone that works very hard behind the scenes, Brian Early. Brian?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the Vice President of Infinity Division, Mr. Tom Eastwood. Tom?
This is
Thanks,
the
Tony.
sponsor.
This beautiful Arthur Ashe Stadium has started a new tradition at the U.S. Open. And because of the play, Greg and Patrick, we've enjoyed a fabulous inaugural final. Infinity has been the proud sponsor of the U.S. Open Men's Singles Championship for 9 consecutive years. And Greg, on behalf of Infinity and all of its retailers nationally, I'm proud to present you with a check for $350,000. Congratulations, Greg.
That's £225,000.
I'll bet he didn't even know how much he was winning. He was so keen
Greg,
just to win.
congratulations. A wonderful tournament. I know you're a little disappointed that you didn't win the event, but you've had a great, great tournament.
Yeah, I've had a good run, but Pat played extremely well, and he deserved to win. He was a great champion today.
He's always very generous.
Your last couple of U.S. Opens, you lost in the first round. Here you end up in the finals. What was the big difference?
I didn't lose in the first round.
That's a good point.
There's his girlfriend,
That's a good
Lucy. She
answer.
enjoyed that.
How about some good returns of serve and some wonderful passing shots as well?
Yeah, I think I've improved my game, but Pat was the bigger player today. He took the advantage on the key points, and that was the difference.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Congratulations to you. And Tom, I think you have a check for our winner.
A new stadium, a new tradition, and a new champion. Congratulations, Patrick. On behalf of Infinity, I have a big check from you, for you, from the Big Apple. Patrick, $650,000.
£417,000. I was about to say it's been a long haul back for Australia, and it's been a long haul for Pat Rafter.
How do you like the sound of Pat Rafter, U.S. Open champion?
I just can't believe it at the moment. It's just, I'm in a fantasy land. You know, it was something I never dreamed of. I mean, you dream of, but you never think would happen. And, you know, it was a very tight match between myself and Greg today, and it could have gone either way. And you know, it was very tough for Greg to lose today, but he's such a fantastic sportsman and given me the, you know, some nice words of, you know, he didn't need to do that. Thank you very much, Greg.
Harry Marmion, I think you have a nice trophy you'd like to present.
I do. The first Australian to win the U.S. Open, or the last Australian, was in 1973. Congratulations, Trev.
Your 1997 U.S. Open men's singles champion, Patrick Rafter.
And without any doubt at all, he was the better player today. He couldn't blow Rusedski away, though. And that says everything for our man. Rusedski, over the next 2 or 3 years, is going to get better, just as Rafter has got better by sheer hard work. In Britain, we can say we have 2 fine young players. We could say of Rusedski that he's a generous and articulate sportsman. You can ask no more of anybody than he tries his hardest.
I quite agree. Greg's heart is huge. His tennis is massive. He's done so well. But Pat Rafter takes home the spoils, and he has absolutely earned it.
Pat came out as an 18-year-old with very little idea of what the world was all about in 1991, 92. Worked his way around the globe, working on his fitness, thinking about his tennis, learning about the game. He was a student, and now we're seeing it pay off. This was his 6th final of the year. He'd lost the previous 5 finals. But this was the one to win. US Open champion for 1997. A surprise victory, but he deserved it. As somebody falls backwards looking at the trophy. Peter Fleming and Annabel Croft have enjoyed that one along with me in the studio. Pat Rafter went 2 sets to love up Peter Fleming. It was in the bag, and he saw Rusedski coming back at him like the Incredible Hulk.
Well, 2 gritty competitors, really, and in fact 2 great guys. I'm really pleased for Pat Rafter. I think the difference in this match was just that he did settle into the situation much quicker, and had Greg been able to play the way he did in the 3rd and 4th sets, it might have been a different situation. But